Adventures in Audio Land, welcome to Point Noir, home of the Point Noir podcast. I'm your host, Jerry III, aka Kimono Jack, and thank you for joining us here at the Point for another awesome session. I know last episode I talked a lot about how to get involved in our monthly passport giveaway, and I'm going to give you those details again at the end of today's episode. The only thing I want to mention here real quickly is that if you're really digging the show, if you're really loving the vibe, if you're really enjoying these perspectives of travel from men of color, please share an episode, your favorite episode, with somebody who might also be interested in the show. It's a great way to get the word around, seem really cool around your friends by showing them some new cool hip stuff, and we'd really appreciate it. So without further ado, let's introduce today's guest. Joining us today at the Point is none other than traveler, vlogger, and blogger extraordinaire, Mr. Will Edmond. He really does it all, y'all, so make sure you check him out on Instagram at Will Edmond. Will shares his stories of travel and adventure through Central and Southern America. He talks about his most recent and first trip to Europe and Spain, and also talks about traveling the world as a vegan. He's a vegan, y'all. This is one of my favorite episodes as well because it's also live. I was on my way to the airport to go to Paris. He had just gotten back in the country and was in Fort Worth for a little bit. So we said, yo, let's meet up, let's grab a meal, and we do the whole thing live, one take, no edits. You know what it is here. So if you guys love laughing, if you guys love hearing people eat food, hey, it's all going down here. So sit back and let's jump into the session. Hey, what's going on, Will? Welcome to The Point. Thanks for joining us today. How you feeling, bro?
Man, I'm feeling good. Thank you for having me, man.
Absolutely. Y'all, if you can't guess, this is another live episode. We're out here in Funky Town, Fort Worth at a Thai restaurant.
Thai restaurant, man. I love Thai food, so I'm glad that we can enjoy this experience, together.
It's extra meta, you know what I'm saying? We talk about adventure and travel, and then we out here kicking it with an international spot domestically. Like, listen, there's levels to the games. Get hip.
Exactly, man. Thank you once again.
Absolutely, man. So our story a little bit, we met off Instagram. I saw some of his posts, followed his account for a little bit, and we'd been trying to get an interview together, and he sent me a video. I was at work, and he said, yo, I'm in Dallas. He was really in Fort Worth, which ain't Dallas. An hour away.
This is true.
So we've been trying to make this happen, but we had a chance to chill out at a happy hour with another great travel influencer, so I'm glad we got the time. I'm actually about to head out to Paris in a few. However, for those that don't know you yet, Will, tell the people a little bit about yourself, just where you come from, what your story is, what's going on.
Yeah, what's up, people? My name is Will Edmond, and I am from Douglasville, Texas. It's a booming city in East Texas with a population of 229.
But like 225 of them are really nice people, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I grew up in East Texas, and I went to school, University of Texas at Tyler, and...
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. So we have our food now. So,
yeah, we're being served. Y'all, this is live and in the moment.
This is live. So yeah, I grew up in East Texas, and I went to school about an hour and a half from... Yeah.
No, he's going to hold on to the side. Thank you.
Yeah. So grew up in East Texas and everything like that, and I love how this interview. I love the liveness.
It's live,
yeah.
Bro. This ain't NPR.
Yeah, it's not NPR.
You know where to find NPR, but you don't know where to get to the point.
I feel like we're really hanging out,
it's
and which we are. So I grew up in East Texas, went to school at University of Texas at Tyler, have a degree in PR and advertising, and went to worked in corporate America, moved to Atlanta, been living in Atlanta for 8 years, and worked from the job, worked corporate America, got laid off, got fired. And then I was like, man, I'm over this.
Was it the getting laid off or the getting fired part? Which did you feel
both
more
of
hurt
them.
by?
Both of them, yeah. Like,
so these people don't love me?
Yeah, the people don't love me. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to lay off myself. I'm not going to fire myself. So I probably need to do my own thing. So I started doing my own thing and started working in like production, doing music events and music festivals in Atlanta. And after I did that for 5 years, I got into travel. I really started off into travel by starting a travel blog. And after my third or fourth post, it went viral. Like 400,000 people read it.
Your fourth post?
My fourth blog.
What was it about?
It's like traveling is not expensive. You're doing it wrong. Yeah. So I gave people all these helpful tips and things like that. And people are like, oh my gosh, I'm so thankful for this. I appreciate it. And that's how I really started out. And I started traveling, domestically first. I've been to almost all the states. Have a few more to go to, about 15 more.
Okay.
And then I started doing international travel.
Okay.
And I just had this travel bug and meeting people around the world. Experiencing the culture, food. Like I love Thai food. And stuff
Hell
like
yeah.
that.
Now,
My
off the
favorite-
top though, she didn't give me chopsticks. So
She didn't give you chopsticks.
She didn't give me chopsticks.
Yeah, man, you gotta use it for her.
Should I feel some sort of way about that?
You
Just
should
for
feel
everybody else to know.
You should put some.
Because I'm nice with the
Because you
sticks,
want
yo.
the authentic experience, and
I
it looks
really
really
want
good
it.
too. I wish y'all could see this food that he's eating. It looks really good.
I'm gonna take a pic for the gram, but listen, if y'all can get handy with chopsticks, you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
We gonna have to pick up some loose change from in between the couch or underneath the vending machine. Get some chopsticks, y'all.
This is true. So yeah, that's how I got into travel, and I actually have.
They're moving tables, y'all.
Yeah, so I actually been to quite a few countries, and going back to just meeting people. I love meeting people and talking to people. And if you watch my vlogs, I'm a YouTuber, I'm a vlogger, and my travel experience is about connecting with people.
Yeah.
So when I do travel, I don't stay in hotels or anything like that.
Right.
I always find the things that are so far away that people never go to.
Right.
Because I'm a nomad. I like experiencing those type of things. So I like being out in nature. I have retreats called nature healing retreats where I immerse people in nature. I take about 5 to 7 people to different countries, and we go hiking, we go exploring, we go kayaking, and all those different types of things.
Okay, so let's back up a little bit and dive in. Yeah, I'm eating the salad with this peanut sauce. I wasn't thinking I had to talk, and I got peanut sauce in my face. So just for all y'all to know, peanut sauce and interviewing,
Yes.
think twice,
Uh-huh.
but it's good. So I like that you have domestic experience and international experience. What kind of culture, was there one trip in particular, or maybe it was through work where you had to go somewhere that kind of just sparked some sort of insight for you to continue?
I think when I was in Denver, a couple years ago, I was like, the people in Denver are really free, laid back.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I like this city. But then I'm like, wow, I want to go see there's other cities like this,
Right.
Around the world and
Right.
stuff like that.
Go around with the map. Are you Denver?
Yeah, are you doing exactly?
The Denver scale?
And I went to other places, and like Denver was a trip where I was like, I need to get out. I need to go and experience more places. And after I went to Denver, one of my first trips, even though we went international, I went to Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And fell in love with Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Went back again for a couple of months. I went to Culebra, Vieques, and if you're listening to this, if you're ever going to Puerto Rico, a lot of people don't go and visit other islands outside of Puerto Rico. Did you know Puerto Rico had 2 other islands?
What?
Yes.
Did not know.
People don't know this. Yeah, Puerto Rico has 2 other islands. It's called Vieques and Culebra.
Okay.
Culebra is one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. It was ranked number 2 and number 3 a couple of years ago. Water is absolutely amazing. Not too many people that actually go there, and it's just tranquility. So after I went from Puerto Rico, I went to Colombia, and Colombia was fun and interesting. Because the reason why I was interested, start with the interesting part first.
Right.
I made it to Colombia around 12 or 1 o'clock that night. And if you're ever going into Colombia, going to Bogota at night, you never know what you're gonna see. So when you drive around a corner, you may see some military people with big guns,
Yeah.
and
You can curse too. These are big ass guns. That's what he wanted
yeah,
to say.
they're big ass guns, and you may see prostitutes who are knocking on your window like, "Let me in," bruh. Crazy. So after I got to Bogota, I had to go to sleep. I was like, listen, this shit right here is extreme. I hope I wake up in the morning and I like this. So I woke up the next morning, sun is up, beautiful, people great, but it's still kind of sketchy in certain places. So, and then after that, I was like, I'm ready to travel around the world.
Right.
I've been to quite a few places. And then went to New Zealand, and went to Costa Rica.
Right.
Went to Peru, Chile, so I really love Central and South America.
Okay.
And my first time going to Europe was like a couple of weeks ago. So I haven't been to South America. I haven't been to Africa and Asia. So first time going to Europe was a couple of weeks ago, and but did almost all Central America, South America.
Wow.
Yeah, I love it. I love the culture of the Latin American culture. I love like Mexican food and things like that. So I'm like, this is something I can do, and that's when I know like this is for me. Like traveling is for me, like I'm trying to make a job. I am making a job and a career out of it. But then like, just solo traveling and being by yourself and just experiencing the culture is just so cool. Just be by yourself and you can take it all in, you know what I mean?
100%. And then the way that relates to you relevantly at the time.
Exactly.
So how's your Spanish, by the way? Because language is a big thing. I feel like that turns people off from exploring. I need to get my French up. I need to get my Spanish up.
Yeah.
But you live in like San Antonio, so it's not hard. But have you found there's been a language barrier, or you've always found a way around that?
Yeah, I found a way around it. Like my Spanish is poquito.
Poquito.
Yeah, I speak a little bit of Spanish, but I know like the basic things of how to get around. Like, if I want to know where taxi, or down there is taxi. I know how to get to where I need to go.
Right.
How to order food and things like that. I want to get better at speaking Spanish because I was flirting with somebody and
Speak truth.
I was flirting with somebody, but I really couldn't talk to her because I'm like, you can't speak English, and I really can't speak too much Spanish. So this ain't
draw some
working.
pictures?
Bro, that's funny. So that was an interesting experience, and so my Spanish is getting better every time I go back to Mexico and stuff like that. But what's interesting, like growing up in East Texas, I always try to be different. And I have blonde hair right now. I know y'all can't see this.
He just dyed his hair Super Saiyan blonde.
Super Saiyan blonde, and I'm black. I'm like chocolate black, like Hershey's dark chocolate. So it's like a little light bulb in my head. But living in East Texas, I took French.
Okay.
My high school. We were one of the only high schools around the little small town that had a French teacher. Okay. So I was, able to learn French and everything like that. But I lost a lot of it after, high school. There's nobody else to speak French.
It's difficult when you're not keeping the repetition going.
Exactly. So, this is my experience with traveling, how I got started and everything like that,
Okay. I love the language aspect because incentive is a big deal. So I learned French to the level that I have it because I wanted to flirt with people. I said, if I want to speak another language...
French is a good language to flirt with somebody.
It's a good language to flirt with people in English in, let me tell you. But it's incentive. So, I mean, people will get the app that say, I'm taking a trip, blah, 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 and they find it so difficult to engage. But the thing is, you got to find your true reason, your true why. If that phrasing speaks to some people, you got to find your why and stick to it. So if you want to flirt with pretty people, do it. If you want to get business transactions done, do it. If you just want to know what the hell is on your menu, do it. And you keep it simple. Like, don't make it these real lofty goals. Like, I want to be an educated scholar. But no, forget that. Keep it funky.
Yeah, that's it. Keep it funky.
Because you ain't fooling us.
Right.
Because we're going to ask you a year later, parlez-vous français? Man, no. Okay.
You're good. You're good. You got it.
Listen, I went for the full immersion experience of my language. Okay, so and what's also interesting is you sharing that you just went to Europe for the first time a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
You think, his Instagram, his YouTube videos are popping, y'all. You were in, this was when you were in Madrid.
I was in Madrid,
Yeah.
I was in Spain.
That's actually because I followed this story on Instagram, so let's talk about that trip because I was like, damn, bro, like, you good? Like,
I'm good. It was great.
Just tell us how you showed up and two of the big events that happened.
All right. So first day when I got to Madrid, it was cool, right? Mm-hmm. Second day, I was going to go out and go shooting and everything like that. So
Shooting video.
Okay. Yeah, not shooting guns, not no AKs or nothing like that. So I went out and started shooting some content. And one thing about my videos, it's all about travel and food, and like, the special things about the city.
Right.
So I had bought some food in this market. It's Mercado San Miguel. It's one of the famous markets that is in downtown Madrid, the central area.
Okay.
And I had bought some food, and then I reached back to get my wallet because usually I wear fanny packs. And I have my wallet attached to my fanny pack because I carry a big wallet.
Right.
I mean, it's big. People think my wallet never gets stolen because people think it's a Bible holder. Yeah.
They think it's a Bible holder.
Yeah, they think it's a Bible. They're like, man, you left your Bible. I'm like, no, that's my wallet.
But good looking out, G.
Good looking out. Appreciate
Bless
it.
you.
Yeah. But I looked down and somebody had unbuckled it. Not unbuckled this, unbuckled my wallet. It has like a little strap on it. I was like, man, I just got. And then I was just like, whoa. Yeah. I have nothing now.
Yeah.
So, because I never leave my passport in my room because usually I stay in hostels and things like that.
And that's for hostels. That's a smart idea.
Yeah. So take your if you stay in hostels and stuff like that, take your passport and stuff with you because never know somebody may come in your room. Because sometimes hostel situations are like bunk beds and things like that.
Right. Shared room, shared space. People watching. Hotels are a little bit different depending on the country and what's going on. But hostels carry the trip.
So I took they took everything. So they took passport, all my debit cards, driver's license. So bro, I was stuck. So I'm like, I can't even get out this country if I wanted to. Like, if I get stopped by somebody, police, like, they're like, okay, we're gonna lock you up because where's your papers? You don't got nothing. I'm just out here lost. So for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I went and backtracked my steps. I went and asked the police officers, like, hey, did anybody turn the wallet or anything like that? And they're like, no. And the police officers like, well, you know, you're not gonna get your wallet back. And then I realized that Madrid and Barcelona has the highest petty crimes out of all the European countries.
It's got to be Madrid, Barca, Rome. It's got to be up there, and Paris probably makes that top 7 list.
Because there's so many travelers and so many people
making careers.
Yeah, making careers.
Y'all asses looking at monuments.
Yeah, so if you ever go to Madrid or Barcelona, any other countries, Rome, in Paris, make sure you keep your backpacks and everything in front of you.
Watch your surroundings.
Watch your surroundings and stuff like that. Even though I had mine right here in front, they still got it. So they're professional. They know. Yeah. Like, if you get distracted, they can come and finagle it, get it off of you real quick. So that happened. I was kind of like, what do I do? Because I didn't know anybody in Madrid. I knew nobody. So I sent out, I posted on Instagram, y'all. Like, I just got.
And that's where I got in there because we had just linked up on Instagram. I'm watching them just at work, chilling, like, hey, what's going on with Will today? He was like, y'all, I got got. And then in the next couple videos, he had like 50 friends. They were out eating lunch. He's PayPal. Tell them about that because your attitude about it was really cool. And I think I'd love for you to share some of that mindset and why you didn't freak out.
Yeah, because I think my whole like what I have trained myself to do in the last couple of years is to be more positive about things. Like, life is short and things can happen. It can happen to anybody. And so I caught myself because I could have been like struggling, like, oh my gosh, I'm mad, I'm upset. I could have went back to my room and just been like in my feelings. But I was like, no, I'm gonna figure this out. So I made the video. One of my friends who had just got robbed in South Africa 2 weeks ago, she said, Will, I got you. So she said, I have a friend in Madrid. So I'm like, okay, I have a PayPal account. I wanted to see she had PayPal. She's like, yeah, she got PayPal. So I PayPal'd her some money, like $400 over, so I can go get a new passport and everything like that. And then a guy who was staying in the hostel with me, he's from California. And he's like, man, here's $100 to help you out or whatever. And he's like, give it back to me wherever you can. And I did that. And like everybody came to my rescue, but sometimes people who are traveling by themselves, they can just be like stuck. They don't know what to do. And my thing is like, I went out after I lost my wallet and everything. I just went out and kept shooting videos. I was like, you know what? I don't got anything. It's not this one monkey can't kill the show. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I just kept rocking. And I had posted on my Instagram, my Insta story, and people were like, man, I appreciate this. I appreciate your attitude because most people can't. They'd be like, what do I do? I'm scared. I'm lost. But I was like, you know what? I still got my life, still got my happiness, and right now I'm just looking for some food. I was like, bro, I love to eat. So I was like, listen, I don't care about everything else. Let me get some food. Because I called my mom. My mom's like, oh my gosh, what we gonna do? I said, Mama, just go get I said, Mom, just go get my birth certificate. So at least I have some type of identification. So my mom went and got my birth certificate and sent it to me, a copy, to my email. So I had that.
Right.
So if you ever get robbed or something in another country, don't freak out. It's gonna be okay because if you have like online technology, that's why I tell people make sure you have a PayPal account and also make sure you have Apple Pay. Because when I did lose, when I got my money from my friend from PayPal, I still had a copy of my debit card. I have a photocopy, and I went and added my my PayPal card to my Apple Pay, and I was able to go to a lot of places and use Apple Pay. And then Spain is one of the top countries that has accept more Apple Pay than almost any other country.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was going.
The rate people getting robbed.
Exactly, right? So you need some backup. So
right, they're like, oh, we got a solution for this. We're going digital, y'all. Release the blockchain.
So with PayPal and Apple Pay,
you scammer coin.
And that helped me out. And I was after 3 days, I was back into the groove of everything. Went to the passport office, got my passport within 30 minutes. Took a photo there, and the passport cost $140, I think, to get a passport for the same day. And that was great that I was in Madrid because they have the embassy there. And if you're in like if you're in South Spain or you're in some other country where there's no embassy, it can be a little bit harder for you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I'm glad I was in a bigger city and the embassy was right there. But going back to getting robbed, there were so many people in the police station. Like, when I walked in, I'm like, oh my gosh. Bro, there's like 40, 50 people who just got robbed in the last couple of hours. So the police and people in Madrid know it's a big issue that people get robbed. And this is not to say do not go to Madrid. Go to Madrid. It's beautiful. So much history. But just be cautious, you know, and be more mindful, more watchful of your things and everything like that, you know?
100%. And sometimes even if you're super aware things happen, I think it's really awesome though is that you had so much positivity, and I think you really brought people onto your side, because it's easy to flip out, but it's not going to help anything.
No, it's not going to help anything.
You already kind of in a tight spot. You're just going to make yourself feel tighter. It's going to make it harder to kind of get things going. You know, have small wins even after taking a slight step back. I think that positivity was dope, and it was live on Instagram. I was like, oh, I sent you a message. I was like, you okay, bro? You good?
Yeah,
like,
you did.
I can't really help you, but
I appreciate it. You sure did. I thank you for that, because a lot of people said, like people were like, do you want me to start a GoFundMe? I'm like, nah. If y'all start me a GoFundMe, I'm gonna go to another country.
Yeah, y'all need to show them these GoFundMes.
Exactly, because they're like, I'm starting a GoFundMe. I'm like, no.
The hell for?
Yeah, for that. I just need a couple $100 to get back and everything. You know what I mean?
I definitely appreciate the sentiment. We'll let you know when there's a GoFundMe for a really good cause.
Good cause, yeah.
But here's the other cool thing is that I'm guessing before you went to Madrid, you don't scope out where your embassies are.
No.
You weren't aware.
I wasn't aware.
But when you needed the information, you were able to find it.
Yes.
That really speaks to your ability to research and come up with creative solutions. I think that's something that, even in a corporate situation, people underestimate. If you're an adventurer, if you're a traveler, you've been out in the world and want to engage in a corporate environment, you have some skills. You can move just a little bit faster, be a little bit more creative with your ideas, and that's huge.
Yep.
So don't think you guys got to research everything. Know enough to handle your day-to-day,
and you'll be good.
Exactly.
And then also I still have my phone, so Uber works over here.
Right.
So I was able to hail an Uber to the embassy, and I was still able to get around, you know what I mean? So I was like, you know what, this is not bad. I mean, I didn't have anything. And you know what's really crazy? It was worse coming back to America than being in Madrid, losing everything. Because before I got on the flight, they looked at my passport. They had to ask me a lot of more questions whenever you lose your passport, because they give you a temporary passport, and it looks really bogus. It looks like the passport comes from the dollar store. It's very flimsy and thin, and it has on the passport, this passport was received outside the United States. So yeah, people gonna look at you like you're crazy. So when I got to back home, I had to get new debit cards and everything. And when I went to the Bank of America, I only had my passport because I couldn't get, I didn't have my driver's license. So I went to get some money. They're like, well, Mr. Edmond, we're sorry, we can't give you any money out of your account. I was like, why not? They're like, well, this passport, we really can't verify it. So couldn't get any money out of the bank for like 2 days because I was still traveling. I had to go somewhere else, and then I couldn't get my driver's license because the driver's license office closed.
DMV was closed,
at 4 o'clock, and my flight arrived in the city at 5, and I had to go out of town for another day or two. So it was like,
not happening.
Yeah, not happening. So it was a lot getting back into the States, But I got everything back now, you know what I mean?
That's wild. I'm just imagining this funny money passport.
Yeah, and I have it, man, right here. Like,
let me see this. Let me see this joint.
Let me see, bro.
He's pulling out the fanny pack, y'all.
I mean, it even feels like it feels different. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like thin.
It's like a passport light.
It looks like I made the passport like on Epson printer or something like that, and then it has a little red thing. This passport was received outside the United States. Ooh. Like if I got it from a U.S. embassy, why would you put that on there? Come on, America, y'all gotta do a little bit better.
Well, you know. That's funny. Yeah.
But I hate that I lost all my stamps.
Damn. Yeah.
So now he's got one in here from Spain.
But it's gonna get full up.
It's gonna get full. It's cool.
That's a good story. It was a wild trip. I was watching it.
It was a wild trip.
I think you shared some really good perspectives, because I think that's what it's about, is perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
You could end up in this situation in the States.
You sure could. And it could be way worse. It could be an actual robbery where you get held up by a gun or something like that.
Yeah.
And usually, like in the States, it's like that. Or somebody break into your car, break your window and steal your stuff. So you're paying $200 or $300 to get the window fixed, and then
insurance goes up.
And stuff like that. So I'm thankful that I didn't get hurt.
Right.
Driver license stuff got stolen. It's cool.
Yeah. I really appreciate you sharing the story, because they missed it. If y'all ain't following on the gram, y'all missed it. We got his info plugged on the show, so y'all make sure you look at the show notes. So let me ask about, because you've been traveling for a little bit, moving here and there. Were there any moments you had that were just kind of life-changing or just really changed your perspective, besides continuing to engage with travel? Like, what moments just like shocked you or kind of awakened something in you?
When I could, you have a bucket list of places that you want to travel.
Okay, yeah.
And I was able to do my bucket list for a crazy price.
Really?
So I've always wanted to go to, New Zealand, Madagascar, and the Maldives.
Okay.
And I went to New Zealand and absolutely beautiful. I went to New Zealand round trip for $250.
Whoa.
So that changed my life. I was like, because most of the time people think that traveling is expensive, but it doesn't have to be.
As your blog post said,
exactly.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah, you're doing it wrong. So you look for flights that are going to be more, budget friendly.
Right.
And just being in New Zealand and seeing like just the views and just clean air, I was like, man, I'm in paradise. And it really changed my mind about the affordability, what I want to do. Because my thing is, I want to live all around the world. Like, last couple of months, like, even though I've been living in Atlanta, but I basically broke up with my ex. We split and everything. Like, we had houses and stuff. And I just basically started selling stuff, and like, hey, I want to live. I don't want all this extra stuff with me. I don't need my backpack, my clothes, my computer, my editing equipment, and I'm good.
Minimalist, the essentials.
Minimalist, yes, and and also, if you're listening to this, make sure you go and watch the Minimalism on Netflix. Have you watched it before?
I haven't,
bruh. Life changing, because it shows you how many Americans just buy stuff where we don't even need. Like,
true.
My philosophy for people is like, don't get stuck in America. And you know how you get stuck? You get this dream job, you get a big house, you get a car, you get 2 cars, you have kids, and nothing wrong with having kids, but you can't travel with all that. You can't say I'm going to be traveling like I'm traveling and have a $2,000 house note, $500 car note. Like, no, you can't make it. You're going to have a lot of money coming in somewhere else in order to make it outside the country. So I don't have that.
Right.
I don't have a expensive car. My car I pay for in cash. My car is 10 years old, bro. And like, I'm not ashamed of it because I'm doing things that most people don't even get to do.
It allows you to have the lifestyle that you want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm riding a little car, but bro, I'm freaking laying on the beach in New Zealand, drinking mojitos and margaritas.
I've got 6 months of vacation.
I got 6 months of vacation a year. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's kind of like what you really want out of your life. And I'm so glad I figured it out early compared to like figuring it out 40s and 50s, because I think we have it wrong. Like, we want to retire at 60 and 70 and then start traveling. Man, my knees hurt right now. When I hit 30, my left knee started hurting. I'm like, man, I can get 55 or 60, this knee may give out. So I won't be able to hike no mountains. So I'm going to do it right now while I can, while I'm still able to do it. And I hope that people who are listening to this podcast are, inspired to do it right now, while you can do it. Thank you. To do it right while you can, That's the most important thing, because life is short, and you never know what's going to happen,
Life is short, and the only moment you got is the one you're living in.
Exactly.
I like that philosophy. We'll have to talk some more on this retirement thing. Okay. My aspect is super business and financial independence and retirement. But that's the thing. When I was a tour guide in France, it was an honor to come out and show black people our culture. A lot of these were very successful black people in the States. It was their first time in Paris, France. Talking about judges, principals, like people with a lot of credibility, but their first time out the country to live their dream was after retirement. Just shout out to that. I was like, damn, like, I'm in my 20s doing what is a dream for you. Let me take that sort of initiative for myself. Let me go do my dream thing.
Yeah, and just think about retirement. Retirement is, your life expectancy for people in America is usually around 78 to 82. So if you're retiring at 60, 65, you only got 10, 15 years left, bro. So I'm like, come on now. Like, now I can do it like on 20s and your 20s and your 30s and still have a life to live. I just think we got it wrong. Capitalism makes us get it wrong. And I'm not saying like, you got to have some money to travel, but you don't have to have a lot of money. So my ex and I was talking about that, and I'm gonna put that out here. We one thing about relationships, you broke up in a relationship over finances or infidelity. And majority of ours was finance. He's making a lot of money, like more money than most people our age, whatever, imagine making. And my thing is, I was making like an average income, 40, 30, 40, 50,000 a year. And
that was a range, but I'm gonna let you cook.
Yeah, it's because over the years. Over the years, it drops, it goes up because I'm a nomad. Sometimes I don't feel like working. Sometimes I feel like working. You know what I mean? So
y'all gonna get this resume when it's damn well ready.
When it's ready. So between $30,000 to $50,000 in the last couple of years, and I've been able to do just fine with that because I don't have a lot of debt. Like I don't have a lot of student loans or anything like that. So I was very smart. All my debt together is probably like $25,000. I know I have some friends who have $200,000 worth of debt.
I'm in the six-figure club.
Oh wow!
Yeah. It's a party.
It's a party. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So one of my friends has $300,000 in student loans. Yeah. So I'm like, whoa, I'm so glad and thankful that I don't have all that. So that's why I try to pay everything in cash. I don't, I made mistakes with, credit cards and stuff at a young age, my 20s. So now my thing is like to pay for everything in cash, don't max out your cards, because you're going to need those debit cards and stuff to rent out cars when you go to these countries. So, and whenever you're traveling, a debit card deposit maybe $2,000, like in Costa Rica. So, you need a credit card and stuff like that. So, learn those lessons at a young age to apply them right now as I'm 33, you know? I really like this podcast, right, by the way, bro. I'm eating Thai food, I'm chilling with you, bro. Appreciate this. I hope y'all like this too. For real.
Appreciate y'all. I know you guys can hear little voices or whatever, but this is real life. And that's what I want to represent. I was telling them on the way over, like, this ain't NPR, but we're talking about real shit. Like, really, what does retirement mean? What does, living a life that you want, choosing the life that you want and making it happen?
Yeah.
So on that note of practicality, where would someone start if they were just a good piece of general advice? I know you mentioned, you kind of hinted towards living within your means.
Yes.
Is that kind of where someone would start, and what does that really mean?
Living within your means. Pay cash for your car. Don't get no car loan or anything like that, because I've had a great job and lost my job, and my car had to get repossessed, for real.
Yeah.
And I couldn't afford it anymore. I'm like, what do I do? I'm not about to go stress myself out to get another job to pay me this amount just to pay for this car to have this lifestyle.
Right.
I can't do that, and I made the mistake in my 20s.
Yeah.
So now I always tell people to find something that you can pay cash for. Find something that makes you happy. If you don't want to buy a house, like my goal is not to buy a house in America. Even though I'm a real estate agent, I sell people houses. And I property manage people houses on Airbnb. But I want to have a house in like Costa Rica in the mountains where I can live off the land, grow my own food and things like that. And I've already gotten the experience because my retreats that I have in Costa Rica, my friend has a 100-acre farm. Self-sustainable. He grows his own food, all his animals, everything is right there. He even creates his own electricity from the waterfalls that's coming through his house, that he generates his own electricity. So being able to see that, I know I can do that. And I just want people to know that you don't need all the stuff, because we are so advertising in America, we're so like, we need this diamond ring.
Consumerism.
We don't need that. We just need happiness, And most people, if you ask people, what would you do if you won $100 million in a lottery? What would you do?
Get rid of my debt. Invest. Then I'd be off.
You say travel.
Yeah.
Travel is always in the top 2 or 3 things.
Right.
Usually people say, I'll go travel the world for a year or 2.
Yeah.
But most people, everybody wants to travel.
No, y'all don't know. I'd be in like a Mars rover coming to your country. The $100 million.
Yeah, man. So
y'all would smell me coming.
Exactly. So I think like travel makes people happy. It makes me happy. And I just spend my money on things that I like to do. No fancy things. Like I'm a nomad. Like I go and shop at Marshall and Ross. Like I don't go to shop for designer stuff, and people look at me like, "Man, you look nice." Like,
I know.
Here's
how I did it.
This is how I do it. You know what I mean? Like, go to Buffalo Exchange. Are you familiar with Buffalo Exchange? It's
I've heard of it
thrift
once.
store.
Okay.
So it's like you can actually live a great lifestyle if you really plan it and think about it.
Right.
And don't get caught up in what your friends have, because I don't get caught up with what my friends have, because the majority of my friends are travelers.
Right.
They're living the same lifestyle that I'm living. So when I get caught up with my friends, I'll be like, oh man, I want to go lay on that beach with you. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm not like, oh, I need to have this 5-bedroom house, 3 bathrooms. I need to be pushing a Mercedes-Benz BMW. I did that in my 20s.
Right.
And that was made me the person I am now. I've had fancy cars, a restaurant, nice place, and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. This is a lot of work to keep all this up.
Right.
Now I just want to be able to relax and enjoy life.
So I want you to, if you could, share a little insight on this, because Instagram and social media, you're big there. I'm actively engaged in the community. And I think some of it pushes, you'll read the news media or whatever, and they say that, seeing all these photos, seeing all these curated timelines and things like that kind of gives people this idea that it's about consumerism. It's about, even in the travel field.
True.
I have to be doing the luxury thing, or I have to be on this beach. We were talking about this the other day. Everybody seems to go to the same 10 damn countries.
Yes.
Or the exact same shot from the same place. And I love it. Like, get your picture in front of the Eiffel Tower. However, like, how can you speak to staying away from that sort of mindset, keeping up with the Joneses when it comes to the travel space?
For sure. I was talking to my friend Danny. Danny.
Shout out to Danny.
Yeah.
Danny, you're amazing.
So, I think there's a lot of people in the travel space who are in the travel space just to like stunt on the gram, to be in luxury places and stuff like that. Like, just the same way that is with any other things that we do.
With the cars in the houses.
Cars in the houses. It's the same thing in travel.
Right.
So I follow some of those people, but a lot of those people they're not really my true friends, because you get caught up with that, So some people, they spend all their money on luxury travel.
Right.
Staying in, like, I want to stay in the best hotel. And
that's the thing, if you're true to your baseline and true to why you really want it, I think.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm glad I didn't get caught up in that. 'Cause I see the free, I'm like, oh wow, let's go there. But my thing is, how can I go there for free? And I'm gonna give y'all a little tip. I'm gonna give y'all a little plug on how I stay. Some of the places I stay in on my retreats are like really, really nice. So I wrote a blog post when I first started traveling, and it went viral. But I also put an Airbnb link in there in it. Airbnb, if you listen to this now, you know who I am. So I got $80,000 worth of credit on Airbnb. And
through an affiliate link. For those of you who don't understand the concept, look it up, affiliate links.
Yeah, so through affiliate links. So right now, I'm still getting money to this day that people will go, say for instance, if you're going to stay in your first trip on Airbnb, whenever you stay in a place, I get $20. So just think about 400,000 people read this and thousands of people signed up. Because every time somebody signs up, I get $20.
That was so smart.
So for my retreats, I pay for a lot of my places with my Airbnb credits. So I just hacked the system, Right. And then another thing is like how to hack the system is using like skip lag and stuff like that. So don't, catching flights and just getting off the plane. So if I want to go to Denver, I buy a ticket that's from Atlanta to Minnesota, and then I see, there's a layover in Denver. I just walk off the plane. I know I got the ticket from Atlanta to Minnesota for $100,
right,
compared to buying a ticket from Atlanta to Denver for $300.
Yeah.
Just hacking, man. Just figuring out how to do this more affordable. Because when you're just first starting out with traveling, if you don't have this knowledge, you'd be like, oh wow, I just paid $2,000 for this trip.
Right.
I've never paid that amount of money for a trip or whatever.
Right. And you've been all the way around the world.
Yeah. So
I think that kind of points back to another principle that I picked up on. If the reason why you're doing something is strong enough, the how, you'll spend the work, you'll find the research. The information is dead ass out there. Whether you're listening to these couple minutes of a podcast or you actually do a Google search, the information's out there. You just got to put in the effort and got to want it bad enough. So sometimes those superficial reasons of, my friend had this, or my dad said I need to do this, those things don't pan out. You won't do the research, you'll pay more than you need to, and you come back feeling like a fool. So when you hear the podcast, you'll be like, damn.
Like, I wish I had listened to this before. Yeah. So I always tell people to like research before you go to a place,
right,
and then like go outside the norm. Stay in a hostel. Bruh,
shout out to hostels.
Shout out to hostels. Another thing that people don't know about?
What up?
There's different beaches around the world. I'm going to give y'all one. Vieques. I stayed on Vieques for a week and hadn't paid anything. I camp out. I bring my tent on a plane.
Right.
And I camp out on the beach. So every morning I wake up. Bro, let's go. Every morning I wake up to the water crashing on the beach. And it's free.
Damn it, y'all. Listen.
So I catch a flight to Puerto Rico for $150. I take the ferry from Fajardo over to the island for $6.
Right.
And I set my tent up. I carry like a little portable stove with me and everything. Yeah. Cook my own food, vegetables, and everything. Grill them up right there on the beach. Go to sleep. Nobody mentions my tent. I'm cool.
Wow. Never even thought, like, my imagination, as soon as he said electricity from waterfalls, I was like, Wakanda.
Right?
So we can do this. We can do this, brother. My brother.
Yes, bro. Yeah.
So last thing, because we're coming up on time, I dead ass have been missing flights for like 3 weeks now. I need to catch my flight, but I want to talk about the food thing because I know you're into food. I've seen your cooktop stove for Memorial Day. I'll be watching. I'm glad you
watch it. Like I'm glad that somebody cares, man. And my thing is, I want to show people other stuff that traditionally black people don't do.
Hell yeah. So let's jump into it, because it's a little bit of a wave right now, but you really live this out. You are 100% vegan.
Yes, I'm 100% vegan.
So you're traveling around the world finding vegan accommodations for yourself or cooking it yourself. Can you talk about that angle a little bit? Because I think it's something that stands out. It's unique because you're not just eating anywhere.
No.
You gotta actually think about it.
So whenever I go to different countries, the first thing, because food is my thing. I love eating food.
And you're always eating. That's the thing. Like, Will's never hungry. He's also vegan. I'm just like,
yeah, I'm always eating. So I always go and research the top food spots before I go. Mm-hmm. Now I know where I'm going to eat before I know where I'm going to stay.
Priorities, yo.
You know, and so when I went to Spain, they had some of the best vegan burgers. Costa Rica, I have flown to Costa Rica just to eat this burger spot. So amazing. But I go and research all the food spots before I go. And being vegan, you just got to be creative. Mm-hmm. In certain countries, it's a little bit harder. In certain parts of Mexico, I went and they do a lot of pork and a lot of beef. Mm-hmm. So I go to a local market and I go grocery shopping. Mm-hmm. So I get involved in the culture. I find the grocery stores and stuff, right. And I cook at the Airbnb.
Yeah.
Or I just source the restaurants that have the highest reviews. Right. And then also, a lot of countries are getting on Yelp and stuff like that.
Right.
So I go and look at the pictures. Because I can tell by the quality of the food, by how the pictures are looking, the ambiance of the restaurant and stuff like that.
Wow.
So I do that as well. And then also just TripAdvisor. TripAdvisor is great to find out good restaurants, look at the highest recommended restaurants, and then go from there,
Okay.
And I thought it was going to be a struggle as I went to more countries, but you can find some. Because now veganism becoming like worldwide,
It's really a wave.
Like when I was in Spain a couple weeks ago, like they had really popping. A lot of vegan restaurants are popping up.
Okay.
I met a guy there in Spain. He was been a vegan. Him and his wife been vegan for like 20 years, and he's like, man, there's so many new vegan restaurants in Spain. So because in Spain they eat a lot of meat, bro.
A lot of meat.
So just finding those options has been great. And being a vegan, then you have more energy. You don't get the itis as much. So
I'm just nodding my head and like I understand.
Yeah. So one thing about I've only been a vegan for about a year, so I had a transition. I haven't eaten beef and pork like 13 years.
Okay.
So a year ago I was eating chicken and fish, but then after I gave up chicken and fish, I'm like, it's a smooth sailing from there.
Okay.
It wasn't hard. I do a lot of juicing as well when I'm back home in Atlanta.
Yeah, I've seen
juices fill you up.
Yeah.
Now you can down 2 juices in the morning, like around 9 or 10, it carry you to 2 or 3. Wow. And the juices I get are like cold pressed juices. Mm-hmm. And there's a place in Atlanta called Arden Garden. They make really great juice.
Okay.
And sometimes I get them for like $1.25. So it's very affordable. Stock up, and I have my breakfast, and if I want to have a juice for lunch or something like that, I'm good to go.
Wow. I think it's a unique angle, especially this show is broadcasting different perspectives, different narratives, just by being black men traveling, the black man who's vegan, you're doing it, not paying a bunch of money. Like, it's just so cool, all the different angles and perspectives that are out there, that you just really wouldn't think of, especially if you haven't or don't know anybody. Mm-hmm. It's not happening. That's what's up. Yeah. All right, and he's going to release a cookbook. I'm just putting it out there. He's going to have a cookbook for your stovetop on the beach. It's going to be the beach stovetop.
So many people been sliding in my DMs like, when you going to have a cookbook? Yeah. And I hit somebody up and I'm like, hey, I need you to help me with this cookbook because I'm getting a lot of people hitting me up now.
Yeah.
One lady was like, I want you to do an outdoor cooking cookbook. Because, I cook outside. Like, I have my stove. Like, I fly with my stove on the plane, bro. Yeah. And you can buy this stove. If you're ever thinking about doing, like, nomadic camping outside, you can go to Walmart or Bass Pro Shop, and they have a double burner for, like, $60. And one thing that you can't do, you can't take propane on a plane.
And you should not.
So take your stove. You put your stove in your bag that you check. But don't put no propane in there because you will get in trouble. Because if that thing blows up on a plane, it's going to be over for you. So buy your propane whenever you get to the country.
Can't catch me if I'm dead, though.
Right. Yeah, bro. Yeah, you're right about that. So get that and get you a tent. Take your tent and I take fishing poles with me. I still love fishing. Even though I don't eat fish, I still love fishing and stuff like that. So I'm a nomad. I'm a black nomad man. That's what I do. Grew up in the country roots, being outdoors, hunting and fishing, and I just took it to the world, and other people. I found other people want to do it with me.
Right? Yeah. The community's out there. That's you've built a community too. Mm-hmm. That's dope.
Yep.
So in closing out, I want to know, one, what advice would you share to somebody who's maybe on the fence, on the edge, just kind of hasn't taken that jump? Like, what's a step or a mindset they can adopt so they can have some success traveling or adventuring?
Yeah, I would say to people, my philosophy or my motto is to live your best life now. If you're stressed out at your job, like, get rid of that. Like, don't stay into any situation, any relationship, or any job that's going to keep you from traveling, because you need to get out of that. Because every time that you're stressed out, you're actually doing damage to your body. You may not know it. You're like, man, I'm so tired of this. Like, you're putting that negativity out there, but it's inside you.
Arteries, your heart, it's
everything.
The whole thing.
So I would say give that up and just live your life right now and do it right now. If you have $20,000 or if you have $1,000, there's a place that you can go. Yeah. And another thing I'll tell people is to start traveling in your backyard. There's a beautiful places here in the States that I haven't been. Like, I want to go to Utah and see, like, Glacier National Park and all this. Yeah, all that, bro. I haven't even been there, so I want to go do all that and everything like that. So go out and travel, and it doesn't take a lot of money. And if you have to go to a national state park, get your pass. And like another thing, national state parks, you can camp out there for free in a lot of those.
Wow.
You know, so a lot of people don't know that. So just try to, no matter what money you have, get out there and explore the world, meet new people, learn about the culture, and that's what the human experience is really about. We're all the same, you know. As a gay black man going and travel around the world, I see, like, we're all the same. Like, and that's when we're in America, we have all this, oh, you're Christian, you're gay, you're bisexual, you're this. And I'm like, I'm Will. And I want to meet other people.
Yes,
I want to meet other people who are like me, you know, not necessarily like me, who are just as open, who are just open-minded, and who are able to be more free and just to be themselves. Because we have all these fences and guards, all this separation.
Right, all these categories, all these segments.
Yeah, be like, oh, I'm Christian, I don't do this, I'm nothing no more. Like, I'm Will. I don't subscribe to any religion. I don't subscribe to anything that people tell me I have to do.
Right.
Like, I'm me. I'm free. And most people can tell that I'm free.
Right.
You know, and I hope that other people, my energy can be translated, you know, it can go to other people, and they be like, man, I'm free too. Because freedom is the most beautiful thing. Freedom and being able to travel, that's wealth, bro.
Right.
Like, nobody can say anything. Nobody can call me whatever. They can call me any derogatory name. I'm still gonna be like, bruh, I'm happy. Like,
you trying to catch vegan burgers?
You trying to catch vegan burgers? Like, let's go. Like, yeah, that's it, man.
I love it, man. Yeah. And the positivity it shows in all your media, the content, the way you just smile at strangers and, you know, get them on board with your program. They'll be like, what? I'm in a happy place right now. What is that? Come back, magical black man. It's really dope, and I think it kind of. I'm big on principles. I'm in the philosophy thing. That's my whole scope. But all these relationships and these other ways that you show up, the more that you can take care of yourself and appreciate you, the better it is for you to show up in those situations with other people. If you don't like you, when you go out traveling, other people ain't really going to like you. Exactly. And now they're going to not like you in other languages, and now you got a reputation. You know, like, not even that you have a reputation, but deal with you. Take care of that first. Health before success. You know? Health is success. So dope. So how can we keep up with you and your ventures? I know you got the vlog. I know you got the... What's going on? Plug it.
All right, so how do you keep up with me? Go to my website, willedmond.com. All my social media. There's only one Will Edmond, that's me. So Instagram is Will Edmond, Facebook is Will Edmond. I'm deleting Twitter because this is boring now. Will Edmond. And Adventures of Will on Facebook. Just search Adventures of Will, and you can find me on YouTube, Adventures of Will or Will Edmond. So yeah, that's where you can find me on all my social media profiles.
So when's your next trip to Costa Rica?
My next trip to Costa Rica will be my retreat will be next year, but I'm going back to Costa Rica in a couple of weeks. One of my good friends from Atlanta is moving to Costa Rica. And he's going to start a music festival down there. So I used to be in the music space, so I've helped set up festivals and things like that. So I'm gonna be working down there with him for a couple of weeks, and hopefully I'll be living in Costa Rica, Mexico, or somewhere like that. Soon. I still want to be living here in the States. So basically I want to do 3 or 4 months here, 3 or 4 months in another country or countries. You know,
if birds can migrate, so can Will Edmond.
And then one last thing, think about whenever you're traveling is to look at the ratio of the dollar. You know, if the dollar works better in Thailand, Bangkok, or Costa Rica, that's where you need to travel to. You know, because going from here to Europe is a little bit more expensive.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why I like going to Costa Rica and Mexico, because I'm like, oh, my money goes a little bit further. And that's how I can be able to travel and live in these places and things like that.
100%. It's arbitrage, y'all. Listen, I'm an arbitrage fanatic. But yeah, check out your spending power, because it definitely make 2 weeks in Johannesburg a lot better.
A lot better, right?
Well, bro, thank you so much for the time, the meal. I know you heard the restaurant, but you know what? Fuck it. This is what we do.
This is what we do, man. I hope y'all enjoyed everything. And this food is good. Y'all can't enjoy this because I'm eating it. But yeah.
Damn right. But dude, thank you so much. We're going to keep up with some ventures because now I'm like, I need a tent. I need to see some electricity generated from waterfalls. I need to see some stuff.
Let's go, bro.
Dude, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
And we'll be in touch. And thanks for hanging out with The Point.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yo, that's a bad brother right there. Will Edmond, ladies and gentlemen. I love the way that he can speak with so much clarity to his perspectives and experiences. And I think that there's just so many nuggets about traveling the world and just being a decent person. You know, think for yourself, solve your problems. You guys are so capable, and Will just through and through shows what that looks like on an international scale, out here adventuring, hacking through the wilderness. Like, he's doing it. Also, I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think of the live episode format? I really enjoy doing these sort of interviews, and I think my guests really get a lot out of them too. Not to say anything about our call-ins, but if you guys would like to hear more, let me know, and I will definitely set things up to be that way. As I promised on the intro, I did want to share the simple 3-step process to get included in our selection for our passport giveaway. Again, we do this monthly. So the 3 steps are, number 1, follow Jerry the Third on Twitter. Number 2, mention me in a tweet and tell me what having a passport means to you. Number 3, make sure you include the hashtag #PassPoint18 so we can see all your tweets, and I will respond to every single one. And let's say you're listening to this and you already have your passport. Maybe you have 2. I don't know your story, but you know there might be someone who's interested in travel that would appreciate having a free passport. Share this information, share the episode, or maybe just the last 3 minutes of it, because we are really committed to doing this for the culture and investing in men of color so they too can have amazing experiences like Will. With that being said, this has been another beautiful session at Point Noir. As always, I'm your host, Jerry the Third, signing off.